let's get the beginning of this. I wanted to be here. I did everything I could to show that I wanted to be a Cowboy and wear the star on my helmet. I wanted to play in front of the best fans in sports and make this America's team once again. The team my dad and I grew up cheering for in Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, this is the line. Unfortunately, I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to closed-door negotiations without my agent. I no longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while laying it on the line for this organization, our fans, and my teammates. I no longer want narratives created and spread to the media about me. He said he stayed here. He stayed quiet to get something done. He wanted to get a deal done, so he stayed quiet. But then there's been a lot of confusion. So he said he wanted to clear up some confusion. Him and his agent reached out after his third year in hopes of getting a deal done. Unfortunately, the team did not want to start negotiations then. So that's a clear thing. They didn't want to negotiate then. They said, nope, we got other things we got to accomplish.
Which isn't shocking. We kind of knew that.
He said I was okay with that. Didn't complain. Focus on 24. After the season, I told my agent, once again, let the team know we're open to negotiate. When they met at the Combine, my agent informed me I should wait for other deals to get done because the price would only go up. That makes complete sense, right?
Yeah.
That is how this business is. We see it happen all the time. After the season, he told them that. This was before any of the other pass rushers deals got done. This offseason, I knew I would be leaving money on the table, but again, I was okay with that. Again, radio silence as far as my extension. In March, I met with Mr. Jones. We had a talk, wanted to talk leadership. Somehow the conversation turned into him talking contract. I engaged back and forth in regards to the contract, but at no point did I believe this was supposed to be a formal negotiation. I told Mr. Jones afterward that my agent would reach out thinking this would get things done. Then my agent reached out, spoke to him, and spoke to Adam. He was told the deal was pretty much already done. My agent, of course, told him this wasn't the case. Also reached out to Stephen Jones. Again, the team decided to go silent. At that point, we decided we would allow the team to reach out to us whenever they decided they wanted to talk. Yet still, no call, no email, nothing. So I'm going to get down to this other part right here at the end. Up to today, the team has not had a single conversation with my agent about a contract. Not one demand has been made by my agent about money, years, or anything else. Still, I stayed quiet. But again, after repeated shots at myself and all the narratives, I've made a tough decision. I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally. Ooh. That was the line we missed right there, Fred, was I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys.
It is trades, but now, and look, and Stephen Jones told Gavin Dawson, told the G-Bag Nation, told 105 Through the Fan, and everybody tuning in, and it's since gone viral, that, they don't drag out negotiations, that 90% of what he said was in Jerry and him, when we all knew they had those conversations earlier this year. Jerry took that to mean that a deal had been struck, or that the parameters of a deal had been set, and that they would finalize it with the agent. And apparently, when they came back, that wasn't the case. And again, it pretty much alludes to it.
Yep.
Adam, I'm guessing the front office guy, thought the deal was done. So Jerry being Jerry, thinking that again, going off of like 1990s negotiation style, where you could do that sort of thing. You could talk to a guy and say, hey, this is what we're thinking, da-da-da. Go back to your agent, we'll dot I's, cross T's, boom, done. Well, it doesn't work like that. And after, rightfully so, Micah went back to David Mulugeta and probably ran by what they had discussed. Mulugeta said, no, that's not how this is going to go about. And when numbers got talked about or whatever they discussed in that initial conversation with Adam, here we are a month, 2 months, 3 months later, and as what it sounds like, nobody's budged. Cowboys aren't talking, and this is where we're at.
This is interesting because the other day, CeeDee Lamb was up on the podium out at training camp, and he said, as they were having conversations, this was a small line in a lot of conversation. He said, I don't think that you want to get into a media battle with Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Then this is Micah Parsons taking control of the narrative. This is actually a fascinating study that we're about to watch.
Oh, it really is.
Because this is kind of that one of those moments where usually the Joneses acquiesce to a deal eventually.
Yeah.
They make up their mind and they say, okay, this is he's now said, I don't want to be here. So I don't know if this is now the Joneses can say, oh, here's the contract and now we're going to negotiate and everything's going to be fine and dandy.
Yeah.
Because now it sounds like, well, now if you want me here, you're going to have to tack on even more numbers.
Yeah.
But on top of that,
insult tax.
You treated me like crap, and I don't like that. Now, a lot of people I see on the fan text right now, a lot of people are going through the emotions of all this. Trade his ass. How much can we get for him? The Joneses are terrible for this. This is like there is no defined line on where people are.
It's pretty evenly
here.
split about how people feel about this situation.
And I don't know what the Cowboys next, because this morning, whenever we started this conversation this morning, it was he could request a trade. The relationship has deteriorated, but now Micah has put it out there. No, that's true,
I'm
Diana Rossini, and I'm done with this thing, and I don't want to have anything to do with it anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much that affects the locker room too, because I feel like there's Trayvon Diggs is in a situation where he's upset, and I feel like their locker room is being supportive of him. We saw the Wanye Thomas post.
Yeah.
We see that they're being supportive. How does it affect the locker room? And how does it affect the negotiation now with the Jones family?
The Trayvon situation, I think, is just him attaching himself. I mean, look, he's just being opportunistic, I think, more than anything else. I mean, he's been paid, right? Like, you're complaining about what? Because you got docked money? Well, that's more of a discussion about, how you're handling things as a professional. This Micah situation, I mean, it has, and again, this is where the Jones screwed up. You underestimated David Mulligetta. Okay, you underestimated how far David Mulligetta was willing to go, and you underestimated how far Micah Parsons was willing to go.
Oh yeah,
okay, like
you thought
Dak,
that you could say whatever.
You
and
thought
the money
you could use the old this is how we do things with the Cowboys, and he's under contract and da 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 da. It's like, yeah, and right, he is to a point. But at the same time, too, though, this isn't, to be fair, this isn't Trayvon Diggs. All right? Trayvon Diggs negotiating his deal a couple years ago is a whole different story than Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is in the Trayvon Diggs is a good cornerback, but I don't know that we've ever had him in the conversation as being one of the best cornerbacks in football.
Right.
Okay? Micah Parsons is 1A, 1B, 1C. When we're talking about impact defensive ends in the National Football League. Run stopping notwithstanding, okay? But no one's going to disagree. He is not one of the premier pass rushers in the National Football League.
This conversation, though, because guys will say they don't want to be somewhere, but he currently is still under contract. What's the line we always hear? Guys don't want to miss paychecks.
No.
They don't want to miss game checks.
Apparently he's ready to.
So he says that right now. I'm interested to see how far the Cowboys are willing to push that, to say, hold on, he's not going to want to miss these checks. Here's Adam Schefter, though, a potential trade comp for Micah Parsons. When Khalil Mack was 27, traded from Oakland to Chicago, the Bears gave up 2 first-round picks, a third-round pick, and a sixth-round pick for Khalil Mack, a second-round pick, and a conditional fifth. 26 years old for Parsons, who is one of the 2 players in the NFL history to register a double-plus sack season in each of his first 4 seasons, along with Reggie White, has now requested the trade.
Yeah.
That is the place where fans are sitting. Do I want Micah Parsons, who is a fantastic pass rusher, maybe not the best, but a fantastic one?
Top 3.
Or do I want all these picks? And I don't know exactly who has that.
And
I was
cap
kind of looking
space.
around. Yeah, there's and cap space. That's another thing to go along with it. Micah Parsons has said he no longer wants to be a Dallas Cowboy.